day in the Grasstrack calendar. I'm here at High Halden again. I didn't expect to be this early in the season because we were here earlier on for, of course, the Spring Classic, and that was a great meeting. High Halden have picked up the qualifier, and that means that we're going to see some great racing once again back here at the boarded circuit. It's a terrific circuit. They've suffered with overnight rain, and of course it means that we're hoping now that the track will dry out. Why I say it's an important date? Of course, the top riders in the country do get seeded through to the qualifier. Indeed, they don't have to ride the qualifier, they get seeded straight through to the Masters first and second. Now, there are some vacancies this year because we've had a few retirements from the sport, and the lineup here today is incredible. We have got some terrific riders. Can you believe that Mark Loram, Paul Fry, etc. have got to ride in the qualifier? That's how tough the sport is. You can see already in the background that they are practicing. A lot of practice. The riders are very keyed up. We've got a lot of youngsters here today, and I know that there are going to be some names going into that top frame. I should say that it's all about qualifying. That means that you've got to finish in the solo class in the top 14. In the sidecar class, you've got to finish in the top 8. That is not going to be easy. I really do think we're in for some fantastic racing today. I'll try and have a few words with some of the riders, and I do think you will see just how keyed up they are. Well, as I did mention in the intro, we're going to try and speak to as many riders as we can because this is a very important date in the diary. And one rider we perhaps didn't expect to see here, and I do understand has not ridden at High Halden before. Mark Loram, is that true? You've not ridden this track before?
No, unfortunately I've had plenty of invites. I've always looked forward to coming here, but it's always clashed with my Polish dates, so I haven't been able to make it so far.
Well, I know you've been out for practice, so first impressions of the track?
Yeah, it seems pretty good. It's a little bit too tight for the length of the straights, you know, but I mean the main thing is they've laid a good track. It's nice and smooth, you know, but like I say, it could do have been a little bit rounder if you like.
Now I'm sure what a lot of people are going to be thinking, is Mark Loram here just to qualify? Is that really the criteria today?
Well, obviously I've got to be a little careful. We've got the Grand Prix next week, you know, the next weekend, so I've got to watch me step a little bit. Obviously the main thing is qualifying, and obviously as long as I qualify, that's the most important thing to me, but I'll be going out for the win.
Well, I'm sure whenever you go on a grass bike, you always do go out for the win. Mark, we wish you the very best of luck, and I hope that we're going to see you in that Masters lineup.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Well, it's a job to pick all the riders out in the pits, and as always, I get interrupted when I'm just about to start talking, but we will carry on, because obviously what they're trying to do is get the practice fully finished, and I won't give up. I'm going to carry on, and he's going to keep this on the video, I guarantee it. Well, one rider that I had to have a word with is a popular rider from last season. I say popular, he really does please the crowd, and it's great to see him here at this qualifier. I think, having said that, I'd much rather see you seeded directly into the Masters, because I think, Steve Daw, you're one of the up-and-coming riders that the crowd love to see.
Yes, gone well so far. The bikes we just got finally sorted now, and had a good ride here last time. Unfortunately come off overdoing it, but that's the only way to go, isn't it?
Well, the only way to go. What way to describe it? You have ridden here before, obviously, as you said. It looks to me as if they've lengthened it a bit this time, though. Yeah,
they've took both bends out a bit, which has narrowed the exits quite a bit, but it's one of the tracks you've got to ride tight, and knowing them fences there, you have to get round.
Now, I think the big question that I've got to ask most of the riders is, are you here just to qualify, or is winning the qualifier something that you'd like to do?
I would obviously like to win it, but that's my main factor here today, just get enough to qualify. If I get in the final, then you've got a bit more leeway to give it a bit more.
Well, that's true, and obviously what I can say is, from what I've seen in practice, I think you're one of those riders that are going to be in contention. Steve, obviously the very best of luck, and I hope we do see you in that lineup for the Masters.
Yeah, so do I, thank you.
Well, I must admit, I'm struggling really to know what to say to this guy, because I've found another rider that we sometimes would say we don't expect to see at a qualifier, but Paul Fry, I've not seen on the grass too much this year.
No, well, obviously the start of the season it's all speedway, and to do the grass track and try and fit it in is very hard, but we're back at the qualifier because we've missed the Masters through injuries, so we've got to come back down here and do it all again.
Well, indeed, nice of you to remind me that obviously last year was missed through injury, but do you think that this system is a good system and works well?
Sorry. Well, to be frankly, no, I don't. I think there's something wrong with the system, to tell the truth, and I'd either like to see it go back to one meeting, or if somebody gets their international, they keep it for so many years and perhaps have to qualify for it again in another perhaps 4 years. I don't think the system's right somehow.
No, well, I apologise obviously for pushing you into that one, Paul. I have asked of one or two other riders as well, but I think what a lot of us do miss is the fact that this qualification is to ride internationally, isn't it? It's to ride on the continent, and obviously maintaining that licence is hard to do.
Yeah, maintaining the licence really, yeah, it is hard. Obviously to stop in the top 20 every year, but you haven't got the discretion of that. It's if you don't ride the Masters now, you don't get a selection for like the long track or the European, where you want to be really, and that's where I find it's a little bit wrong.
Well, I totally agree with you, and as I say, I do honestly apologise for actually pushing you along that point, Paul, but I do know that you're a name that we do look for on the continent as getting results for us and representing us. And obviously what I can say is really the big question, are you looking just to qualify today, or would it be nice to go through as winning the qualifier?
I think I'll just have a nice steady day. I've had some problems here before on the track, and let's just try and qualify, I think.
Yeah, most important. And you've been out for practice, how does it look to you?
It's how I remember it, nice and slick.
Well, nice and slick, Paul. Obviously the best of luck, and again my apologies for actually pushing on those points, but obviously people like to hear what the riders think, so very much appreciated.
Yeah, that's okay. Cheers, thanks to everybody anyway. Cheers.
There's a lot of riders in this pit that really I wasn't expecting to see here this year, and I think when we look at the sidecar class, one of those riders is of course Reg and Colin Blackburn. Reg, you finished, what was it, 12th last year, and previous years that would have been an automatic qualification. Rather strange that you're here again at the qualifier.
Well, I think the goalpost was moved after the event. That was the, in my opinion of it anyway. I was told not, but I looked in all the papers and spent quite a bit of time, me and Colin, looking through all the papers, and we never see anything mentioned about being 10 till after the event was run. But never mind, we're here now, and get on with the business, and hopefully we'll qualify again today.
Well, it's nice you to obviously take that attitude, and I think it shows the people that do watch the videos that the riders do take this seriously, the racing side of what Grasstrack's all about. Now, I've got to say, you've ridden here before, Reg, and I seem to remember you've had some good results down here before.
Yes, good track, like it very much, yeah. I would have actually been here at the Manor Kent, but the date was changed and it clashed with a local meeting at our club, so, you know, my own club has to come first.
Well, indeed it does, and I think what we ought to do is quickly mention your own club, because you've got the big meeting, I think, in the calendar is, of course, the Lincolnshire Poacher, and that's your own Wainfleet club that run it, and I understand that you're moving venues this year.
Yes, that's right. I mean, it's only this last week that we've actually finalised the venue. We've been on now for the last 7 months with the field we've been in under set-aside regulations, and the Minister of Ag have just decided that no, we cannot use it because we do charge at the gate. So fair enough, that's their decision again, and we had to find another venue. We've been looking around for many venues, but most of them was out of the district, and only last week the farmer whose land we've been using just come up and said, have a word with my brother, he's got one just up the road. We went and looked, and brilliant field, just as good as what we've been using. Went to see him and he said, yeah, no problem, there you go. So we're all back in action. Else it was getting touch and go whether we was going to have to cancel, but it's built up now to such a good meeting. It took the last few years to build it up, that if we'd had to have cancelled, I think we'd have lost all we'd built up. So, you know, good, yes, it's on.
Well, that's excellent news, Reg, and obviously I'm really pleased to hear that, because I think I would totally agree, and I'm sure the viewing public would agree as well, that that reputation has started to build, and the Poacher is an excellent meeting now, and one that we'll look forward to. Well, like you say, it's obviously the best of luck. A shame that you've had to come here and qualify today, but let's hope that the journey is worthwhile.
Thank you very much, thank you.
It's crews that I ought to say are probably the ambidextrous crew. Gary and Steve Wright. Now, one crew that I would say that I'm thinking, should they be at the qualifier? They had some excellent results last year. And Gary, I'm going to throw that question at you. You've had some great results during 1994. Did you expect to be here at this qualifier?
Well, yes, really, because the great results at the big meetings, you know, Steve got, but we didn't just quite get the points, you know, we didn't do well enough in the finals. We rolled it or something. And then at all the club meetings, where as the turns fell, I was riding at more club meetings where points are easy to get. I mean, anyone can get points when, you know, you're only riding against, you know, Reg and Like, you know, the points are easier to come by when I was riding. So, you know, Steve got good results at nationals, but he just didn't tally the points up. You know, so we deserve to be here and not straight through.
Well, obviously the other question I've got to ask you is whether you've actually ridden this track before.
No, neither of us has been here before. It's a lot bigger than it rides a lot bigger than it looks. You know, it's a big fast track, but you know it's a nice track. It's a bit more like a grass track than other bordered circuits. You know, it's a bit more like a grass track, and you know, which I prefer.
Well, excellent. Obviously you've been out for practice. What do you think of it?
All right. The bike's going well. You know, we're starting to string 4 laps together now, and when we do that, we can go fairly quick. So if the bike keeps going, we'll qualify.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to that and obviously wish you the very best of luck. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you very much.
Well, moving a bit further around the pits, and I've come across one crew that I know I had to have a word with because I've been a bit controversial on this video this morning, and obviously taking up some of the points that the riders have made. Rob Wilson, one I've got to throw at you as you finished 11th in the Masters, last year I'm talking of. They, as Reg Blackburn put it a few moments ago, moved the goalposts. Yeah. And we've also had a retirement. Russell Eng has retired. It meant that there was a vacant place. Did you actually think that finishing 11th you should have automatically gone up into that top 10?
No, not really. I think you know that if they make the rules that there's so many go through, that's what they should stick to. I don't think we should go in through people dropping out, to be honest with you.
No, that's an excellent point, and obviously one thing that I'm going to have to say is that you've had some great results here at High Halden in the past. Do you think that's going to play to your favour?
I hope so, but to be honest with you, you're only as good as your last ride, and you know it's very difficult. There's a lot of good guys here today, and it could really go anyway. Hopefully it will work for us, but I wouldn't like to be putting money on it.
Well, that's one thing we're not allowed to do in Grasstrack, but obviously, you know, I'm thinking back to the excellent results you've had, and I think when I say Rob Wilson and Tony Miles, you are a name that really is in the top lineup of Grasstrack racing, particularly, you know, when we think of the big meetings, you're always there or thereabouts, and it is perhaps a little bit surprising that you've got to come through this qualifying loop, but you've been out for practice. How does it look to you?
Yeah, it's good. The track's good now. I mean, obviously, as it dries out, it'll get a lot better, and what the practice was, but hopefully, yeah, it should be all right. It should make for a good day's racing, hopefully.
And the other one point that I've got to ask is this your outfit?
No, it's not. It's Roger's outfit, and hopefully he's going to be out for the Masters this year on it. And he's just lending it to me. He's got one of my engines that he's rebuilding at the moment.
Well, I appreciate you being honest, because I thought for a moment you were going to say no, it was your own outfit. But yes, to clarify for that, all those of you that are watching, of course it is Roger Meese's outfit. And I think with that added advantage, Rob, I do think you're going to qualify today. Obviously we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much. Cheers, Jim.
Well, I've spoken to obviously a lot of crews here this morning, and I think I couldn't miss this crew, because if we look back to just last week, I think, if my memory serves me correctly, Mark Edwards, that was your first big win.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. The week before I won a little meeting at Wimborne, but say that was my first national. Yeah, that's the one which counted.
I don't know what to say to that, actually. Yeah, the one that counted. Obviously it was a Berks Bonanza, a terrific victory, but not easy. You had to fight for it all the way, didn't you?
Oh yeah, Gary gave me a run for money in the first sort of like part of the final. Unfortunately it was stopped. Luckily we got the gate again. Yeah.
And obviously being here at the qualifier, the one goal is today to get through to the Masters, because that's really the ultimate goal, to get into that sort of echelon of top riders in the grass track world. And of course we've got the Masters coming up. This qualifier means that only 12 go through. Is it going to be a question of just qualifying today?
Yeah, and then you got the prize money in the final.
So, two priorities. Obviously you're going to make sure that you're qualifying, because I always think it's a bit of a dilemma. I mean, what I hope to think is that from the crowd's point of view, most of the riders are going out there to do the winning, and qualification then just falls as part of that.
Yeah, it's, as long as you get in that final, then just, you know, you're not worried about the final really. That's a bonus.
Yeah. Well, we treat it as a bonus, and I've got to ask, have you ridden High Halden before?
Yeah, I was here last meeting about 4 weeks ago, won the B final, so hopefully can follow on.
Excellent, so you know the track, and obviously I've got to have a quick word with this man here, because at the presentation last week at the Berks, you were not shaking hands with people. Bit of a problem there, Nick, I understand.
Yeah, well, there's actually shaking hands with me, which didn't go down too well because it's a bit bruised, so, but I've done my best.
And how did that come about?
When we went in the corner with Gary, where we locked on the straight, and we sort of had a coming together, and my hand was in the way, and I wasn't giving way. Mark wasn't giving way. We had the pound notes coming up in front of us, so that spelled it out for us both.
So the ultimate driver is pound notes spinning in front of the eyes, but obviously a terrific up-and-coming crew. I do wish you the best of luck, and obviously the priority today is qualifying. I'm sure you're going to be there.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, we'll give it all I got.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, boys. And 5th place, number 9, reserve Mitchell Godden. In 6th place, number 5, 7th place, 305, 8th place, 121, and 10th place there, number 10. The winning time, 134.06, 134.06. I think that Mitchell came in place of Greg Daniels, so disappointing that we've not seen Greg as we get underway with race 2 in your programme, still with the 500cc solos of course, as they get into that on that top end, so disappointing for those riders that made that good start and got themselves at the front of the field, but caught up in that loose rider was Steve Daw as well. I can anxiously look across that fast. Look for the restart of race 2. James Cawthorpe was that made the best of that first start, which we should see race 2 getting underway. Andy Parker are the last to come in line. As indeed we now see them being brought under starters' orders and they're away as they come past me for the first time. James Cawthorpe again has made a good start. It's John Underwood who's made a better start though as they go into that first bend. It is John Underwood that's got to the front. James Cawthorpe up there with him. Already up into 4th place. As we look to the front, you can see John Underwood going very, very wide, but indeed he's very quick as well. Andy Parker's up in 2nd. Steve Daw now moves through into 3rd place. So James Cawthorpe dropping back through the field. Very, very quick round this pit bend. John Underwood a lot tighter this time, so we're obviously getting the measure of this pit bend, and he's looking in good form. Andy Parker still there in 2nd place. That's Malcolm Simmons who's moved up into 4th place now. Steve Daw trying to move through, looks for the inside line on Andy Parker as they go into the last lap. He's got the drop on Andy Parker going into that top end. Terrific ride this from Steve Daw, tries to hold it tight. Andy Parker. This time for John Underwood. A terrific ride for him to start the day. Here we go to that one. Steve Daw gets second place, and just on the line, Malcolm Simmons, I think, has got through into third place. Well, we'll confirm that one for you when the lap scorers give me the official result. But that looked to me as if Malcolm Simmons had just sneaked through. Race 2 then, the official result reads as a win for rider number 77, that of course is John Underwood. In second place, a terrific ride to start the day for number 110, Steve Daw. In third place, rider number 30, just got it on the line, Malcolm Simmons. Fourth place, number 20 is Andy Parker. Fifth place, number 17, that's Dave Wright. And sixth place, rider number 12. In seventh place, number 169. 8th place, number 139, 9th place, number 72, and the winning time, 138.43, that equates to an average speed of 57.42, that average speed, and I'm sure, like me, a lot of you have noticed that Dave Mears got himself a ride. Race 3 already on the start line. Away they go. This is the third race of the day then, as we can see wheelies being pulled by 2 or 3 riders there. But as they come past me for the first time, it is riding number 1 this afternoon, Leigh Lanham, that's got to the front, joined by his fellow youngster. Leigh Lanham looking in terrific form as he comes round off that pit bend. Already got quite a considerable lead over the rest of the field. In second place it is Tommy Palmer that's trying to close the gap. Andy Sell is up there as well in the third spot. Andy Sell getting completely wrong in that track there, but Andy Leigh Lanham throwing completely sideways in the middle of that bend. It's a terrific line he gets coming off the bend, but I just wonder whether he's going to be too slow in the middle of the bend as the racing goes on later today. Chris Tritton up there in third place now, trying to get that third from Andy Sell. As Tommy Palmer looks to establish himself in second spot. Well, again, Andy Sell puts that machine almost on the ground in the middle of the bend, but he recovers from it. And we'll watch them go round through this, the final lap of race 3. He takes his first checker flag of the afternoon. Tommy Palmer finishing in second spot. Andy Sellers hung on to that third place, and Chris Tritton finishing in fourth. A battle for fifth place, and indeed that was close on the line. Leigh Lanham is going to be very pleased with comparing to Mark Loram's. The official result for race 3 reads as a win for rider number 1. That, of course, is Leigh Lanham. In second place, number 21, that's Tommy Palmer. Third place, number 50, Andy Sell. Fourth place goes to number 3, Chris Tritton. And fifth place, number 31, Darren Keats. Sixth place there, number 14. Seventh place, number 263. Eighth place, 130. Ninth place, 15. And 10th place, number 44. The winning time was 135.62. That equates to an average speed of 59.11. And as I'm sure you all noticed, very comparable to Mark Loram's time in race 1. We look then to race 4. The rest of the 500cc competitors coming into race 4.
Darren Keats.
So away we go with race 4, what can be described as heat 4 of this event. And it's number 8, Gary Lobb, has got to the front as they go into that first bend. Gary Lobb that's got to the front, rode in the Masters last year of course, but has to come back here and try and qualify again. It is his teammate Dean Garton that's up in second place. Paul Fry, I've noticed, he's back in fourth place to try and find his way. He knows he's got to get a qualifying place and get into the Masters proper. Alright, Scott Nicholls is putting all the pressure on Gary Lobb at the moment as Paul Fry now takes it. Slightly. I don't know whether Gary Lobb can get back underneath him as they go into the last lap. Paul Fry has had a terrific lap. Scott Nicholls is now taking Gary Lobb as well. Scott Nicholls will put himself back in. Establish himself in front. First time out. Rider number 55, that is Paul Fry. Scott Nicholls getting second, Gary Lobb in third, Dean Garton in fourth, and Kinchin in fifth. Give you the official result of race 4. It was a win for rider number 55, that's Paul Fry. In second place, number 22, that's Scott Nicholls, and third place, number 8, Gary Lobb. In fourth place, number 16, Dean Garton. Fifth place, number 84, Kinchin. Sixth place, number 23. Seventh place, number 43. Eighth place, number 64. Ninth place, 231. And 10th place, 419. The winning time, 136.15, 136.15. That equates to a speed of 58.78, 58.78. As we indeed turn over the page, we move now to the sidecar class, and already you can see them coming out of that pit box on the far side. In the Masters lineup in the sidecar class, there is 18 outfits required. 10 have already been seeded through, so it means that we do need another 8 from today's meeting. So the top 8 will be seeded through, but an added bonus for one of the riders, if they finish in 9th, it looks as if they will get a place as well, because we've had the retirement of Russell Ing. So there was a vacant place made in the top 10 by Russell Ing. So as much as they need to be sure of qualifying getting into that top 8, there could be the added bonus that the rider that finishes 9th may get a place as well. So there we go then with the first sidecar race of the day as they break down that far side into the first bend for the first time. And I can see Gary and Steve Wright. But they shouldn't even be out of this race, so we'll pick that up for you as they come by. Well, it is Joe Mogg that's got to the front. And indeed, what I thought was Gary and Steve Wright turns out to be Terry Phillips up there in second place. As they start to sort themselves out, come around the end of that first lap. It is Joe Mogg and Joe Smith sitting a cracking place as number 148, Rob and Chris Winterburn have come through into second place and completely turned the outfit sideways on that pit bend. A disappointing start of the day for them, but they've recovered from that well and now they've got a lot of ground to make up. So back into second place goes number 52, Terry Phillips and Chris Spires. They've gone very, very wide on that bottom bend though, as Duncan Tolhurst now has moved through into second spot. Simmons is up there in fourth place at the moment, but Duncan Tolhurst, new to sidecar racing this season. A great start this would be for him if he can qualify through into the Masters. He's up in the second spot. Came into the meeting as reserve, of course. And he's got a lot of ground to try and make up on that first place as we see the checkered flag go. It's going to be a win for Joe Mogg and Joe Smith. Duncan Tolhurst and Will Jones finishing second. Terry Phillips and Chris Spires picking up third spot. Win for outfit number 98, and that was of course Joe Mogg and Joe Smith. In second place, our reserves coming in, number 74, Duncan Tolhurst and Will Jones. In third place was number 52, Terry Phillips and Chris Spires. Now in fourth place, number 32, Kevin Simmons and Mark Langmaid. Unfortunately, number 112 there, Rick Colvin, getting excluded for going off the circuit. In fifth place then, number 148 is Rob and Chris Winterburn. The winning time, 133.29. The speed equates to 53.45. side. It's race 6 that's on the start line. This is the first outing for the sidecar crews, and I was going to say one to look for would be number 8, Mark Edwards, because he had a terrific win up at the Marks Bonanza last weekend, but you can see there's problems on that first bend. Pete Goodwin, I think that is, that's hit problems on that first bend. Rory McGuigan it was that had made the best of that first bend, and I was going to say that after that terrific victory up at the North Barks last weekend, Mark Edwards and Nick Walters really do want to get into the Masters and know they've got to do it the hard way by qualifying here today. Riders and Supporters Association. There's somebody there that will have a chat with you and explain to you what indeed it entails. You get a newsletter regularly and it keeps you up to date with everything that's going on in Grasstrack. Request for somebody who could perhaps get into a Volkswagen Passat for a gentleman that's had his keys locked in. Gentlemen, just remind us that nobody's made the offer so far. Honestly, if you do this thing quietly, we won't tell anybody. Number 77 is Ray Pickard, number 26 Reg and Colin Blackburn, and number 149 Len and Ray Foreman. So some very formidable names in there. Those of you that watch the results closely will know that Reg and Colin Blackburn finished in 12th place last year. Now if we turn the clock back to previous seasons, that would have been enough to be seeded through direct to the subsequent year's Masters, but the rules were changed and it's only the top 10 that go through now, so it means that those that finished in 11th and 12th, who were Rob Wilson and Reg Blackburn, have got to come back here to the qualifier. Well, ironically, I think it's worth looking at the results of the qualifier last year, and I see that Reg and Colin Blackburn finished in 7th in the qualifier. It's got them a place in the Masters, but as we get underway with race 7 going into that first bend, it is indeed Len and Ray Foreman who have got to the front, Reg and Colin Blackburn right up there with them though as they come round off that first bend. Len and Ray Foreman getting away from the field though as they come past me. Reg and Colin Blackburn up there in 2nd, Richard Thomas is up there in 3rd, Adrian Davis holding 4th at the moment. As we look to that pit bend, it all gets a little bit closer, that 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Richard Thomas still there in 3rd place, fighting hard for his position, going after Reg and Colin Blackburn. He's got Adrian Davis right up behind him as they go into that top bend. Adrian Davis trying to find a way through on the inside. He holds a very, very tight line. Reg and Colin Blackburn allowing Len and Ray Foreman to get away from him at the moment, but of course they'll be content to have that 2nd place. Adrian Davis wants that 2nd place so by the look of it as he goes round the outside of them going down that back straight. A good lap that for Adrian Davis as he goes into that top corner now in 2nd place. Still no change at the front. It is Len and Ray Foreman that have got away, and Adrian Davis coming very, very wide. He's allowed Reg and Colin Blackburn to get underneath him again and take that 2nd spot. He's not prepared to give that 2nd place up though, trying to fight back and get into that 2nd spot. Those two together as they go down the back straight. This is going to be a terrific last bend for that 2nd place. No doubt about the leader, Len and Ray Foreman take the race win, but it's his 2nd place that's getting very, very tight. Richard Thomas getting in on the scene as well, but it's going to be Reg and Colin Blackburn that take it. Terrific race for them, and indeed a great 2nd place. They'll be pleased with that one. The official result of race 7, a win for rider number 149, that's Len and Ray Foreman. In 2nd place, number 26, Reg and Colin Blackburn. In 3rd place, rider number 60, that's Richard Thomas and Kevin Woodley. In 4th place, number 34, that's Penny Hook and Keith Watts. And in 5th place, number 77, Ray Pickard and Paul Midgley. The winning time was 1:34.72, the average speed 52.64, and I think you probably all realise that there was no 1:26 in the results, unfortunately excluded for going off the circuit.
I think I picked a different. I'm sure. I'll sit to be corrected.
Well, always the wrong information given to me as I look across the far side. They don't look like the competitors that were due to go in race 6. They look more like the competitors. I don't think that man's being rude to me. I think he means that this is race 8. Thank you, sir. Obviously recognise those numbers of outfits on the line, this being race 8. Obviously somebody's still not ready for that rerun of race 6. And at the moment I can see that Rob Wilson is not happy to come in line. Very impressive. It's showing the depth of skill that we've got in grass track racing at the moment. I think when you look at a lineup like you've got for race 8, should some of those perhaps already been in the Masters? Well, they've got to do it the hard way. They've got to qualify as they indeed get underway. Looking for Rob Wilson. Indeed, Rob comes through on the inside. It's Gary Wright that's got up into second place as they go into that first bend. Rob Wilson Jr. in third place at the moment. As they come off that first bend, it is Rob Wilson and Tony Miles that have made the best of the starts. Gary and Steve Wright up in second place. Robbie Wilson up in third place at the moment as Roy Spreadbury tries to go through on the inside of him in that pit bend. Will he get through? It gets close, and as they look across the far side, I can see that Rob Wilson has lost the lead as well. And I'm watching that battle for third place. You can see that Gary and Steve Wright have got out in front of Rob Wilson, but Rob Wilson trying to hold it tight. Gary Wright, he's seen has gone wide on that top bend. Well, I had a chance to talk with Gary Wright this morning. Of course, it is a long, long way for them to come to this meeting, and as they said to me this morning, this is the first time they've ever rode this circuit, but they enjoyed it in practice and they were hoping for a good day. Well, they started off in terrific form as they come round off that top bend. They're leading from Rob Wilson in second place. Robbie Wilson still hanging on to that third spot. Roy Spreadbury not able to make up on that third place at the moment. As we watch them go down that back straight. Here's Gary and Steve Wright. They don't look like being caught by Rob Wilson at the moment. One more bend to negotiate as they indeed come round that top bend. This is the crew that quite often we have them swap round. They're both very capable drivers, but they take it in turns. Today it is Gary and Steve, the combination that win race 8. Rob Wilson content with second place. Robbie Wilson hanging on to that third spot. Outfit number 101, Gary and Steve Wright. In second place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles. Third place, number 25, Robbie Wilson and Colin Hill. Fourth place, number 43, Roy Spreadbury and Andy Thorne. In fifth place, number 87, Rob Bradley and Jeff Bradley. And sixth place, number 16, Mark and Rob Sarax. The winning time, 133.42, 133.42. That equates to a speed of 53.37. 53.37. We'll go back to the rerun of race 6. On the line, and I thought for a moment underway, but something not quite right on that far side. Tapes repaired, and obviously they've now called the riders back into line, and we get underway with this, the restart of race 6, and a much better start this time for Mark Edwards and Nick Waters. Dave Steer is up there in second place at the moment. As we go into that first bend already, I thought we perhaps lost one of the riders, but they've got the bike going again. As indeed they come off that first bend, it is Mark Edwards and Nick Waters in lead from Dave Steer, and our reserve Justin Peach up there in third place. Craig Cheatham holding fourth at the moment. So perhaps the battle is going to be for that third place as Mark Edwards and Nick Waters move away down that back straight. Dave Steer desperately trying to close down on them as they go into this top bend. He certainly closed the gap on the entrance of that bend, but Mark Edwards has got a good line coming out. And again he pulls away from Dave Steer, but it's the entrance to the bends that Dave Steer seems to catch up. Well, Justin Peach still up there in third place coming into this meeting, of course, as reserve. He's taken the place of Pete Goodwin, who pulled out of race 6. As you can see, the reserve coming in and showing an excellent result at the moment as they come down past us going into the last lap. Mark Edwards and Nick Waters still leading. Dave Steer and Andy Orchard still there in second place. Justin Peach and Ian Weatherly still in third at the moment, as Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds not having a good time at the moment, back in fourth place. Well, they'll certainly be disappointed with that. Again, Dave Steer gets very close to Mark Edwards in that top bend. As the checkered flag is made ready, it is Mark Edwards and Nick Waters that win. Dave Steer and Andy Orchard finish in second. Justin Beach and Ian Weatherly in third. Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds finishing in fourth. Result reads as a win for outfit number 8, that's Mark Edwards and Nick Walters. In second place, number 17, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard. In third place, number 4, our reserve, Justin Peach and Ian Weatherly. In fourth place, number 1, Craig Cheatham and Clive Reynolds. Fifth place, number 20, Vaughan Roberts and Alan Berry. And sixth place, number 127, Rory McGuigan and Glenn Shuttle. The winning time, 131.80. 131.80, the fastest of those 4 heats. An average speed of 54.31. Back at the first heats, we had wins for John Underwood, we had wins for Paul Fry, and we had wins for Mark Loram. All 3 of them come out in race 9, so only one of them can continue with a maximum. Which one's it going to be? Well, we find out, as we've also got coming into line James Cawthorey. No Chris Malone, of course, you remember, number 64 is out. His place being taken by Krista Marsh, and as they get underway, I think we are in for a cracking race. As Mark Loram has missed the start, he's back in 4th place at the moment, but goes round the outside. John Underwood has now got through into 3rd place. So all 3 riders that had heat wins first time out, up in the first 3. As Paul Fry leads going past us, Mark Loram in 2nd. Dean Garton in 3rd place again as John Underwood messed up that pit bend and went very, very Temple second? No, I don't think he will. He'll want to get that lead. As Paul Fry looks over his shoulder, he knew he made a mistake on that pit bend and he was wondering where Mark Loram was. And Mark Loram was put down on that top bend. Well, quickly he's back up on his feet again. Some very quick motivation by Dean Garton and John Underwood. His machine is back in the action. Paul Fry goes into the last lap. As it's now Dean Garton in 2nd place, John Underwood in 3rd. Krista Marsh is up in 4th place, but Mark Loram has now gone underneath him. Dean Garton still holding 2nd. John Underwood makes a mistake in the middle of the bend. That could give 3rd place to Mark Loram. But as they come to the line, it's going to be close. Well, we'll leave that one for the lap scorers to decide. As a win for rider number 55, that's Paul Fry. In 2nd place, number 16, Dean Garton. In 3rd place, and yes, he made it on the line, number 2, Mark Loram. In 4th place, number 77, John Underwood. 5th place, number 43, Frank Killian. In 6th place, number 419, Dave Perry. 7th place, number 26. 8th place, number 64. 9th place, number 5, and now just crossing the line, making very hard work of it, James Cawthorey, number 169, takes 10th place. The winning time, 133.42, 133.42, that averages a speed of 60.50. 60.50. And I can confirm from the pits, we've very kindly been told that Greg Daniels has unfortunately had problems with his machinery in practice this morning, so he's pulled out of the meeting. That hence is the reason why Mitchell Godden took his place in the first ride, and does so again, and already has made a very good start as he gets underway and has got himself into 3rd place going that first bend. The early lead taken by Andy Parker. Kinchin now takes over the lead. Gary Lobb is up there in 2nd place. A terrific race this one as you see them come down past me. They're all still together. Vince Kinchin leads. Gary Lobb in 2nd. Mike Dowling is up in 3rd. Andy Parker holding 4th at the moment with Mitchell Godden in 5th place. In the qualifier last year, and overall in the Masters last year, Vince finished finished in a position where he had to come back to the qualifier again, and he looks in very determined form this afternoon. Gary Lobb desperately trying to as he goes wide on this bend. Kinchin comes back underneath him again. A good scrap between these two. Mitchell Godden has moved up into third place. A good scrap going on there between him and Mike Dowling. As they come across the line, that's how they're going to finish. Mike Dowling has got his third place back. Mitchell Godden finishes in fourth. Neil Scopes finishing in fifth place. Result reads as a win for Gary Lobb, rider number 8. In second place, number 84, Vince Kinchin. Third place, number 282, Mike Dowling. Fourth place, number 9. That's Mitchell Godden, of course, coming in as reserve. And fifth place, number 15, Neil Scopes. Sixth place, number 20. 7th place, number 23. 8th place, number 10. 9th place, 305. 10th place, 177. And the winning time, 139.68. 139.68. That averages a speed of 56.75. 56.75. So, race 11 it is that's coming to the line, and looking back at those first leg results, perhaps the highest one was number 22, Scott Nicholls, with a second place. They indeed get underway. We're looking for them as they come past us. It's Andy Sell that's made the best of the starts. Well, as they get to that first bend, it's Andy Sell pursued by Scott Nicholls in second place. Back straight, you can see that Scott Nicholls is desperately trying to close in on Andy Sell. He's made a good tight mid bend as he comes past us, close in second place. Malcolm Simmons it is that's up in third place. Whether Scott Nicholls can get this first place. He's got very, very close. Andy Sell continually in the bends. But Andy Sell looks to have the drop on him as they go down the straights. Oh, was that a mistake there from Andy Sell? He seemed to hit Speedway star and comes round off the pit bend leading now from Andy Sell in second place. Malcolm Simmons still there comfortably in third place. It's Chris Tritton that's leading the battle for first. So they start now to catch up with one and tail in. Checkered flag being made available now as he comes to it. This is first race win of the afternoon, but Scott Nicholls takes the win. Andy Sell in second place. Malcolm Simmons gets an excellent third place, and fourth place does indeed go to Chris Tritton. First race win of the afternoon for rider number 22, Scott Nicholls. In second place, number 50, Andy Sell. In the third place, number 30, Malcolm Simmons, and fourth place, number 3, Chris Tritton. Fifth place, number 263, Graham Gordon. Sixth place, number 121, Alan Harmer. And 7th place, number 72. In 8th place, number 12, and 9th place, number 18. No 10th finisher there, the winning time 135.75, 135.75, and the speed 59.03, 59.03. And as I think my lap scorers have just pointed out to me, of course number 121 is Anthony Bugard. Of the heat winners from leg 1, one remaining, and of course he now appears in race 12. That of course is Leigh Lanham, but interestingly enough he's joined by 3 riders that had second places first time out. So we'll watch to see what happens as they get underway for race 12, and it is Leigh Lanham that sets the pace as they go past us. John Jefferies is right up there as well in second spot, Tommy Palmer up in third at the moment. come through. Oh, goes a long way round, and he's got some very capable riders in front of him this time. Richard Emson is indeed that Steve Daw is fighting with for that 4th place. Got the 1, 2, 3 at the moment. He's Leigh Lanham at the front. Place now. Richard Emson up in 4th place, and John Jefferies now recovering is in 5th place. As indeed we watch to see them go past us. Richard Emson, you'll remember, had a terrific finish to his first ride. He was perhaps Tommy Palmer now has got his work cut out to hang on to this 2nd place. Steve Daw has got closer and closer to him. One more lap to go, and it's Steve Daw closing down on that 2nd place. I think Tommy Palmer is really... looks a lot quicker. Leigh Lanham though takes the race win, his 2nd of the afternoon. Tommy Palmer finishing in 2nd, Steve Daw in 3rd, and Richard Emson finishing in 4th. Needs a win for number 1, Leigh Lanham. In 2nd place, number 21, Tommy Palmer. In 3rd place, number 110, Steve Daw. 4th place, number 141, Richard Emson. 5th place, number 14, John Jefferies, of course, and 6th place, number 17, Dave Wright. 7th place, number 6, 8th place, number 31, 9th place, number 44, 10th place, 231, and the winning time, 137.04. 137.04, that equates to a speed of 58.24. 58.24. Indeed, could I ask for a member of the first aid staff to join one of the public here behind me on the finishing line? That's a member of the first aid staff. Your assistance has been requested over here. I hope they can hear me. I was finishing marshal thinks they didn't hear me, so he's doing a valiant job. Going tapping one of them on the shoulder, I think. As we get underway with race 13 in your programme. I think we're back to, of course, the sidecars, and I look to that first bend, and that looks to me like Robbie Wilson has got to the front. Confirm that as he comes round by me, it is indeed Robbie Wilson has got to the front. Regent Colin Blackburn up in 2nd place, Terry Phillips in 3rd at the moment, Richard Thomas holding 4th place, and Regent Colin Blackburn. I thought we were looking for that lead then, but as they go down the back straight, you can see that Robbie Wilson has pulled away. There's all sorts of changes going on further down the field. Rob Bradbury trying to move his way through into what is now 4th place, looking for 3rd as well, though, as he tries to get underneath Terry Phillips. A good ride this from Robbie Wilson and Colin Hill. They made a terrific start, and indeed have now maintained that lead as Regent Colin Blackburn are fighting desperately to try and get close to them. That's where the gap seems to open up though, they really are quick down that back straight. Again, Rob Bradbury tries to get through on the inside, up into 3rd place in front of Terry Phillips, but Terry Phillips having none of that, he's going to come back again, and indeed those two outfits get very, very close with that 3rd spot. All the changes of places seem to be further down the field. You can see that quite comfortably Robbie Wilson and Colin Hill have got away. Rob Bradley trying to close up on that 2nd place. The gap now opening up between 3rd and 4th, but as we look to see the checkered flag go, it is indeed a win for Robbie Wilson and Colin Hill. A good result for them. Regent Colin Blackburn in 2nd place, Rob Bradley in 3rd. It is a win for outfit number 25, that is of course Robbie Wilson and Colin Hill. In 2nd place, number 26, Regent Colin Blackburn. In 3rd place, number 87, Rob Bradley and Jeff Bradley. In 4th place, number 52, Terry Phillips and Chris Spires. 5th place, number 126, and 6th place, number 60. The winning time, 135.13, 135.13, that's an average speed of 52.41. 52.41, that average speed. Yeah, a good win. Walking back to the pits, well, he was going back to the pits, he's decided to stand and watch the next race from the inside of the circuit, so pleased to see that he's up on his feet and okay, but of course it does mean he won't be coming out in this race 14. Underway now for race 14. Looking for Loram, and they're on the inside, but it's Justin Peach, the reserve, that's got to the front as they go into that first bend. It's very, very close in that first bend. Loram still there in second place, but it is the reserve, Justin Peach, that's got out in front. Rob Winterburn up there in third place, of course, had that disastrous result in his first ride. Looking for Loram perhaps to close up on the leader, Justin Peach, and Ian Weatherly. Good ride this from them. You can see that Rob Winterburn is trying to put pressure on Loram forward for that second spot. Len deciding, I think, to go for the wide line on this pit bend. He's decided now to perhaps to follow Justin Peach round and maybe get the advantage down that back straight, but he's turned the power on a bit too soon and he's kicked the back out, so no advantage that time, although he has still kept his lead in front of Rob Winterburn. Looking for a very, very tight line on that bottom bend. Indeed, I can see that we have got a red flag as the last lap flag went out as they come past me. Obviously we've got an outfit and riders on the circuit at the bottom bend.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that. Could 6 weeks on, isn't it?
Race 14 reads as a win for outfit number 4, that's our reserve, Justin Peach and Ian Weatherly. In second place, number 149, Lennon Ray Foreman. In third place, number 148, Rob and Chris Winterburn. And in fourth place, number 17, Dave Steer and Andy Orchard. Equally no finishing time or race speed. That result on the 3 laps that have been completed. And an interesting lineup it's proved to be. We were looking back to the first heats, and of course looking at heat winners, we've got 3 of them together coming out in this race 15. Joe Bolt, Mark Edwards and Gary Wright, and it's those 3 that have got away together going into that first bend. Literally all 3 of them together coming around that first bend. Terrific sidecar racing for those 3 as they come round that first bend. It's Gary and Steve Wright that have made the best of it. Joe Morg has got into second place. Mark Edwards back in third place at the moment, and I think we could see some changes as Mark Edwards gets very, very close to the back wheel of Joe Morg and goes round the outside of him. Well, Gary and Steve Wright look to be in terrific form today. They've pulled away from Joe Morg, and now Mark Edwards has got through into second place. Oh, it could be changing for that third spot as well. As number 112, Rick Colvin, has got in on the action. But you can see Joe Morg not happy with that. He wants his third place back again. And Mark Edwards is perhaps closing on that first place as he goes down that back straight. Now the gap has certainly got smaller between Mark Edwards and Gary Wright. Steve and Gary Wright, those still leading as they've gone wide this time. Mark Edwards has seen that and he goes to the inside. And it sounds to me as if Gary Wright's bike is popping a little bit as it comes past me. So whether he's actually hit a misfire, I don't know. Certainly Mark Edwards has closed the gap. Doesn't look to be misfiring at all going down that back straight, does it? Oh, a terrific terrific ride this for the Wright brothers as they come round off that top bend. Mark Edwards having another go on the inside. He's going to get close, but Gary Wright gets it again. Terrific ride from them. 2 rides and 2 wins. Mark Edwards and Nick Walters a first and now a second place. Medus that had a win first time out, and it proved to be a win for number 101, Gary and Steve Wright. In second place, number 8, Mark Edwards and Nick Walters. In third place, number 112, Rick Colvin and passenger Matthew Dix. In fourth place, number 98, Joe Mogg and Joe Smith. In fifth place, number 34, Penny Hook and Keith Watts. And sixth place, number 20. That's Vaughan Roberts and Alan Berry. The winning time 131.27, 131.27, and the speed 54.63. 54.63. Politely say I'm only quoting here. This is not me making this statement. It's just my voice being used. In race 6, I gave you a result and credited rider number 4 with third place. As has been pointed out, he wasn't under starters orders for the first race before that race was stopped. He therefore cannot be credited with the result. He came in as a reserve for the injured rider. He no longer takes that result, so it means all the other 3 riders move up. Number 1, Craig Cheetham, gets third place. Number 20 gets fourth place, and number 127 fifth. So our apologies for that. As I say, the rules being adhered to 100%. And it's that race only that I'm told his results are changed in. So I hope that all makes sense. We get back to the racing. In race 16 we're already underway, and you can see that already in the lead is Rob Wilson and Tony Miles, and it looks to be a relatively comfortable lead at the moment as they go down that back straight. Duncan Tolhurst is up there in second place at the moment, so another good ride from Duncan Tolhurst and Will Jones as they go into that second bend. Still holding on to second place. That was a good bend from Duncan Tolhurst. Royce Bradbury was getting closer to him. He needed to have a good bend, and he did just that, and he's established himself now in that second spot. As we look down the back straight, is Rob Wilson and Tony Miles getting away from the rest of the field. Oh, Craig Cheetham disappointingly has spun on that pit bend. Quickly gets the Elwood back up on 3 wheels. Things not going well for Craig Cheetham this afternoon. He was perhaps another one of those crews that we would have expected to go through from the qualifier, but things not going well at all. Oh, Rob Wilson, who was in very determined move, and I spoke to him this morning, looks to be in good form as he comes round off that bottom bend. He's going to pick up a race win as he crosses the line. It is outfit number 24, Rob Wilson, who had a second place first time out. He now gets a race win. Result, a win for outfit number 24, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles. In second place, the reserve, number 74, Duncan Tolhurst and Will Jones. In third place, number 43, Royce Bradbury, and fourth place, number 32, Kevin Simmons. Fifth place was taken by outfit number 16, and no other finishers there. The winning time 129.47. 129.47, a speed of 55.73. 55.73. Our attention now to the solo class, and already they've come to the line. We've got 2 riders in the solo class on maximums at the moment. One of them we see in this race. It's number 1 to look out for. That's Leigh Lanham. He's on maximum points. Obviously something not quite right on that start line. Away we go this time, looking perhaps for Leigh Lanham to break. It's not, it's Tommy Farmer that's got to the front. Gary Lobb is right up there as well. As they go into that first bend, it is Gary Lobb that's got to the front. On that first bend. There's a good scrap going on for fourth place at the moment. Godden trying to get that place. As we look to the front, it's Gary Lobb that's setting the pace. Well, Gary's sitting on 20 points at the moment, so he's been blocking the points up. He's gone the long way round, looking to go the outside, but Gary Lobb is equal to him as they come off that pit bend. Oh, Lobby looks over his shoulder. He knows that Leigh Lanham is there, and Leigh Lanham looks to have got the advantage. Oh, terrific lap for Leigh as he goes into that top bend now, leading Gary Lobb. front as he's now showing Gary Lobb that he's got his work cut out if he wants to stay with him. Tommy Palmer closing now on Gary Lobb to try and get that 6th place. 6th place? Dropped him back down the field, didn't he? Looking to get that grip that they weren't expecting. As we see the checkered flag going for Leigh Lanham, he maintains the maximum. Gary Lobb gets 2nd. Tommy Palmer in 3rd. It's Graham Gordon that's got up into 4th place. John Jefferies back in 5th. Official result and confirming that Leigh Lanham maintains the maximum. He wins. It's rider number 1 in 1st place. In 2nd place, number 8, Gary Lobb. In 3rd place, number 21, Tommy Palmer. In 4th place, number 263, Graham Gordon. 5th place, number 14, John Jefferies. And 6th place, number 9, Mitchell Godden. In 7th place, number 23, 8th place, 31, 9th place, 231. No 10th finisher there, the winning time 136.16. 136.16. The speed 58.77. 58.77. Now we turn our attention to race 18 and a chance again to see Mark Loram in action. John Underwood, who's scored well, he's on 19 points so far. Richard Emson, who's had to fight for every point that he's got. Number 141, look for him. And Vince Kinchin, who had a terrific ride 2nd time out, he's got 16 points overall. And remind you that it is 4 qualifying rides into that semi-final. Well, away we go with race 18, looking to see who's made the best of the starts. It's Mark Loram that's got to the front. John Underwood is right there with him as those two together go round that first bend. Steve Daw up in 3rd place at the moment, so a better start for him. I could see Steve Daw challenging for that 2nd place, and he does so already. Tries to go through on the inside of John Underwood. Neil Scopes trying to follow him as well. Mark Loram has taken shelter. He's certainly no problems at the moment. He goes very, very wide. He's gone out on the dirt line. Steve Daw follows him as well. He maintains 2nd place. Richard Emson now coming through in the 3rd spot. As Richard Emson moving through on the inside, trying to get that 3rd from John Underwood. Yet again here at High Halden as he tries to get through into 2nd place. He's got his work cut out, but he does so as he pushes Steve Daw slightly wide. Well, he's made a gap for himself. He gets up into 2nd place. Mark Loram still comfortably running in that mountain still up to 2nd place. But a terrific ride there. Steve Daw still there in contention in that 3rd place. Goes very, very wide. Oh, that's indeed how the result's going to stand. Richard Emson in 2nd, Steve Daw in 3rd, John Underwood in 4th, Neil Scopes crossing the line just in front of Vince Kinchin. And it was a win for rider number 2, Mark Loram, his 2nd of the afternoon and doing his points tally no harm at all. In 2nd place, number 141, that's Richard Emson. In 3rd place, number 110, Steve Daw. 4th place, number 77, John Underwood. 5th place, number 15, Neil Scopes. And 6th place there, number 84, Vince Kinchin. The 7th place goes to number 130. 8th place, number 26. 9th place, number 44. No 10th finisher there, the winning time 134.67. 134.67. 59.70. 59.70 it was, as we move to race 19. Quickly looking at the points tally so far, Scott Nicholls, number 22, is sitting on 22 points overall from 2 rides. So he's sitting in what is effectively 3rd place after 2 rides.
It's 3rd. Is it last 3rd? Have we not?
Obviously the starter not happy with one rider without machinery going. That's number 17, Dave Wright. Well, Dave Wright now being told to come into line as indeed the tapes go and they get underway. Looking for that number 22, Scott Nicholls. It's he that gets to the front. As those two go into that first bend, it is Scott Nicholls that takes the first bend. Scott Nicholls already on 22 points from 2 rides. Looking to have another good ride this time as he comes past us, looking over his shoulder. It is Malcolm Simmons up in second place. He really is turning out to have a very good day here, Malcolm Simmons. Chris Tritton back in third place. Those positions look as if they're just about to change as James Cawthorne tries to make up a place on Andy Parker. And indeed Andy Parker pulling out on that pit bend, so problems for him. He goes into the centre green, but over Scott Nicholls. He stays down his spot. Into the last lap as they come round past me this time. Still a brilliant ride from Malcolm Simmons in second place. Chris Tritton holding third, James Cawthorne still there in fourth. I'm sure Malcolm Simmons is going to be very, very happy. Two rides, second place, right up there amongst the top point scorers. As we see the checkered flag go, and it is number 22, Scott Nicholls, that takes the win. Right home in second place by number 30. Terrific finish there from James Cawthorne, but I think Chris Tritton did manage to hang on to that third place. The official result, a win for rider number 22, that's Scott Nicholls. In second place, number 30, Malcolm Simmons. In third place, number 3, Chris Tritton. Fourth place, number 169, James Cawthorne. In fifth place, number 43. In sixth place, number 17. Seventh place, number 64. And the only other finisher there, 8th place, number 305. The winning time, 136.51. That speed is 58.56. 136.51 the time, a speed of 58.56.